It's real physical contest. It's who's up for it the most, and Grant and Hughes have that physical presence, and Celtic will miss it.
Typical Old Firm players, you know,
yes,
very up for it, and I think personally they'll miss them badly tonight.
But in terms of the break, you don't think that will either benefit or distract Celtic?
Probably it might be a little bit rusty first 10-15 minutes. You know, you don't play for a while and you often get like that. But you know, it comes back quickly. I mean, they'll have fresh legs. I mean, they've been rested up and they've, you know, obviously been looking after themselves over Christmas, over the New Year, of course.
You don't expect anything else, would you?
You know, but as you say, Rangers have come in off a great win against Hibs, so they'll be cock-a-hoop, and they've also, you know, opened up a gap at the top of the table. I mean, it's great, as Charlie says, they're not coming in needing to win a game, you know.
OK, well, let's hear from Walter Smith, and he is with Davey.
Walter, not surprisingly, the same side that beat Hibs on Saturday starts again for you tonight. Was there ever a temptation, given his record in these games, that you might have put Ali McCoist into this one?
No, I don't think so. I think at the present moment, substitute would be his place. He's been out for a few weeks now, and that's just him just back, so I think substitute the best place for him tonight.
Both yourself and Tommy Burns have been saying that this isn't a championship decider tonight, but just how much of an influence do you think tonight's events might have on the eventual outcome?
Well, I think of a psychological influence more than anything else. I don't think MD could say with the number of games to go that it would settle anything league-wise, but it gives a psychological boost if you can win this one as early as the season, especially just going into the new year.
Well, you beat Hibs 7-0 on Saturday. You go into this one on the back of a 16-game unbeaten run. Do you feel the game is coming at just the right time for Rangers?
Well, we are settling down a little bit with a lot of injury problems throughout the start of the season. This is the third time in a row we've selected the same side, which I think is the first time that's happened for an awful long while. So we've played some of our best football in the last month or so, so I hope that can continue this evening.
There was a lot of talk a couple of weeks ago that perhaps this might be Celtic's year. Do you feel your players have reacted to that?
Well, I think they have. I mean, they've reacted to a few other teams who have challenged us in recent seasons as well, and I'm sure they'll react to Celtic. We've been here twice already this season and we've managed to win, so again, we're hopeful that we can do it tonight.
Thanks, Walter. If it's possible for a manager to enjoy this game, do that tonight.
Thanks very much.
Well, Walter Smith giving nothing away. It won't be settled tonight, he says, but can Rangers win it again?
We've got the experience, we've been through it before. They've, first time in 8 years, they've got to try win a title, but definitely not. It's got to be a year again.
Played Hibernian on Saturday, 7 goals, we're looking good at the moment. The form of Brian Loudrop and Paul Gascoigne will make a big difference tonight.
We are playing so well that I think that really we'll just win most of the games from now on. I don't think Celtic are going to catch up with us at all, especially tonight. I think we're going to win 3-1.
It's a long way to go yet, but Rangers had a good win on Saturday and they're playing really well just now, so I've got a lot of beating tonight, you know. We always seem to play better when we're away from home, so very confident.
It's the closest it's been for years. For any time Rangers, you know, have to win, they always seem to win, especially over the last few years.
We won 11 points. Celtic's got 2 games in hand. They said, easy, we'll beat them.
I agree with Walter Smith. There's a long way to go yet. It's a great game for the fans this evening, certainly, if you're a Rangers or Celtic supporter. That's very important, but I still think there's a long way to go. I think we're a long way to go, and I think we'll do it, by the way.
Of course, he wouldn't think anything else, would he? Charlie Nicholas and Mark Haley with us. Mark, I was just wondering, now Ali McCoist tonight, and Davey mentioned it, more often than not he settles these games, or has done in recent seasons. Is one of the reasons he's not playing Gordon Dury's form? 5 goals in 2 games for him?
Possibly. I mean, Alistair's been in and out all season, sort of thing, but Coisty will always get you a goal, whether he's playing or he's on the bench. I mean, that's the way he is. But
so that's nice to know that there's a bit of an insurance policy there. What about this fella now? 5 in 2, as I said, 8 in 7.
Well, I think he's a little bit hotter than we are tonight in the studio, anyway. So, no, I mean, goal scoring, strikers go by goal scoring records, and I think even by Gordon's standards, he's on fire at the moment, you know.
Walter Smith is of the opinion that he's had to be a little unfair to him and play him in wide positions more often than not. Now he's giving him a run through the middle. That's made the difference.
I think so, yeah. I think it was always a difficult position for him to come in and play in the middle. You know, when myself and Alistair were playing, especially. I mean, he was always a good team player to have. He could work the flanks well. He's got a good engine, get up and down, and he's also got an eye for a goal, which he's proving now.
That's Gordon Dury, who leads the line for Rangers tonight. And a word about Paul Gascoigne, somebody else who's right in form at the moment. You were around, of course, at the club at the start of the season when he came. Has he done as well as you thought, or has he surprised you?
No, not really. I think Paul's ability is unquestionable. I mean, I think the only thing that was hanging over his head was his fitness and his attitude. But as you say, I was at the club. You know, I was pretty much with him for a couple of weeks. You know, during the summer, looking after him. And he's a smashing guy. You know, I mean, I don't think there's a harmful bone in his body. He's just a good, fun sort of guy. I think his as you see, his ability to turn people in and out. I think his sense of humour is a little bit different to other people, and that's what they find difficult to understand.
That's a nice way of putting it.
I think so, but I don't, you know, being with him, I don't, and obviously the other lads, there's not a harmful.
I think he's such a character. We're forever saying in Scotland, especially, that we hardly ever have any characters now, and here we have one, staring us in the face. And we tend to be too critical, I think, sometimes, and forget the ability. I mean, this is just special.
Yeah, this sums him up, doesn't it?
This is him. This is his strength.
Gascoigne.
Yeah. Going at people with a ball like this.
I mean, that's tremendous ability and great composure. He does enjoy it, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
he did enjoy
his football, doesn't he?
We saw the booking last night that he picked up in that game. That was extraordinary.
Yeah, well,
that's ridiculous,
again,
isn't it?
We're talking about characters, and he said a bit of fun, and somebody's reacted against that.
Yeah. I'd be glad he didn't pick the red card up, wasn't he? that would have been.
That's a fair point, isn't it? Okay, let's have a look at one or two of the new breed here at Celtic. Jackie McNamara being one of them. His dad, of course, played for the club. £600,000 from Dunfermline recently. How would you describe him, Charlie?
Well, they're now talking about young Jackie McNamara as the new Danny McGrain, which is quite a title to give any young man. He's a lucky mascot. He's not been on a losing side in the Celtic team. He made his Old Firm debut in this 3-3 draw, and I thought he was outstanding. He was really impressive. He loves going forward, and he's formed a really good partnership with Simon Donnelly on the right. Very clever player for such a young man.
This was a wonderful goal, wasn't it?
This is the way Celtic have been trying to play and exercise everything they put into their practice, and this is just exceptional. That young man has just went forward pass, and then immediately went forward after it. It was a great goal. Tremendous compliment in a way, as you say, that new Danny McGrain, but is he the sort of man that can handle a tag like that at this stage? Yeah, I don't think it's a problem to him. I think he looks in control of the situation at the moment, and I don't think there's going to be a problem with young Jackie McNamara. His father was a very talented player also, so he's obviously got good experience to learn from. We talked about Van Hooijdonk recently, who's at last doing what Celtic fans wanted to see, and that is score important goals. Yeah. What about Andreas Thom? Has he produced as he should have done? He's, ability-wise, yes. He's a creator. He makes Celtic tick when he gets the ball. He's a free role, a bit like Brian Laudrup does at Rangers. He's allowed to go anywhere. And there's no doubt about it, this guy's creating goals. He's only scored, I think, 3 league goals. But I think all round, the majority of Celtic supporters are particularly pleased with Andy Thom. Andy Thom. Andy Thom. I like nicknames in Glasgow, you know that, don't you? Easy. Proven international quality, would that be right? Yes, he's never been a guy who scores a lot of goals. He's never been that tight. And I think Tommy Burns has found out, I mean, this is a special goal. Not just because it was against Rangers at Ibrox, but it was a good strike. It was a heck of a strike. I mean, he beat Andy Gorham from there. I don't think you'll see too many players doing that. But this guy's definitely got talent. And he and Van Hooijdonk are beginning to understand each other, are they? Well, probably he plays just a bit deeper than Van Hooijdonk, and sometimes Rangers, when they come and defend here, you can't really get in behind them too hard, and sometimes he doesn't hurt enough, I think. But all round, the talent's there. I think he's taken the pressure off Van Hooijdonk as well, hasn't he, coming into the side, to be fair. I mean, you go up and play on your own, and there's a lot of pressure on you, a lot of attention is. I mean, he's in the side now, and he'll take half of that away from him, and obviously he's reaping the benefits now. I'll also be interested to see what they do with Tom, because at Ibrox in the last match, they played on wide right, and put Donnelly through the middle with Van Hooijdonk, and then they swapped it around again, so I'll be interested to see what Tom's going to do tonight. Has he settled now? The goals record seems to suggest that, but again, referring back to previous conversations, he's taken some stick recently, hasn't he? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the accuracy, it seems. That was Paul Gascoigne, by the way. A ball to the back window of the studio. It's the first time he's found me all year. First time he's hit the target. Back to Van Hooijdonk. Oh, there he is. Thank you, Paul. Back to Van Hooijdonk then. He's settled. They've taken to him. Yeah, well, they have. I mean, there's still quite a few convinced, I think. He's on a good goal scoring run at the moment. I think 7 and 6 he's got. But, you know, there's been a lot of critics about this guy, and he scored the goal, so full credit to him. I don't think he'll get a hat-trick, Gascoigne, will he? I'm not shooting like he's doing at the moment. What a pro, Charlie.
amongst everything that's going on around you. There he is, look. 3 out of 3. Well done. Oh, he's having a good night already. Paul Gascoigne and Rangers at Celtic Park tonight. Live, it's the New Year's Old Firm derby. If you've never seen one, don't go away. These are special.
Everyone's making tracks to the JJB Sports Super Sale. Everyone wants to get their hands and feet on thousands of bargains. Replica kits, sports footwear, sports equipment, big names, Umbro, Adidas, Puma, Nike, and Reebok.
Everyone's a winner.
So you win again at the JJB Sports Super Sale.
I've only got 2 hours to get to Dover. Hop in. Oh, no. Who's that damn bandit for you? You've got Garning Black Label. Ah, c'était à 4.1%. Oui, il pouvait faire plus grand. No trouble with the blockade then? Nah. Who's that damn bandit for you?
Unlike him. Carling, Britain's #1 selling lager.
If you're paying over £300 for motor insurance, isn't it time you had the privilege?
The idea of not having a timetable, no restrictions, you're travelling into France just as easily as you would travel up to Newcastle.
It's great to be going smoothly and on dry land.
As someone who vowed initially that they would never use a tunnel, I'm a complete addict to the thing now.
Speed is the main thing.
Put the seats back, relax a while.
First time and it's very good.
It's so quick, there's no customs on the other side, straight onto the motorway, across into France, and likewise back into the UK.
For our 1996 brochure, call 0990 700 800.
It's the FA Cup third round and Leeds face a difficult trip to Derby County. The bombs will be flying as these two teams meet for the second time in cup competition this season. Leeds won that encounter, but only just. Derby are crazy for success, but Howard Wilkinson's Premiership stars will test their ambition to the limit. A classic cup tie. Ford Escort Cup Special, Sunday at 12, live on Sky Sports.
Almost set. Parkhead tonight, Celtic against Rangers. It's live here on Sky Sports. And what about the outcome? Bookies can't separate them. 13-8, the two of them. 15-8, the draw you can get here tonight. And the favourite to get the opening goal, well, not too surprisingly, bearing in mind the form they're in. Van Hooijdonk 5-1, Jury 11-2, Salenko and Tom 7-1, Collins of Celtic 9-1. Paul Gascoigne, 10-1. He's scored in one of these games already this season. Made the winner for Ali McCoist here in the Coca-Cola Cup match. Laudrup 12-1, McStay 25, and 50s McNamara and Petric. Now, 1995, what a fabulous year that was on the sports front. And very soon now, we'll be honouring the year's sporting heroes.
Panasonic Honours Sky's Champions of Sport 95 is coming soon, but you can vote now. Sky Sports Champion, 0891 405011. The individual who has dominated and achieved most on Sky Sports. Sky Sports Champion Team, 0891 405012. The team of the year. Boss of the Year, 0891 405013, the manager or coach who has made an outstanding contribution to lead their team to glory. Shooting Star, 0891 405014, the most outstanding young newcomer. Honorary Brit Award, 0891 405015, the overseas player who has contributed most to British sport. Sky Sports Hall of Fame, 0891 405016, the person you think has made a lasting contribution to sport in Britain. Phone now to cast your vote.
Well, our guests here tonight have made a lasting contribution to these games. Celtic against Rangers. Charlie, you're normally on the fence. Are you with Celtic tonight?
No, I'm going to let the heart rule the head tonight, and I'm going to go for Celtic, yes.
The heart rule the head?
Yeah.
It tells you differently, does it?
Well, Rangers are famous for getting results at Celtic Park when they need them, but my heart says Celtic.
And a stormer, we'll take that.
Yes.
Mark, what do you think?
Well, I'll go the other way, obviously. But no, I think it'll be a result of 2-1. We could 2-1 either way, but hopefully the Rangers way.
Right, match commentators here tonight. Former Rangers striker, of course, like Mark here. Andy Gray. I've made the call to the Hall of Fame, by the way, Andy. And Martin Tyler. Never.
Good evening, everyone. Andy, a week ago we were at Old Trafford, Manchester United against Newcastle. This seems very similar in the context of the Belgian Premier Division.
I think it is. I think if Rangers were to take all 3 points tonight, it would be very, very difficult for Celtic to close that gap, and I think they know that. And I think they go into this game knowing exactly what Alex Ferguson's team knew when we were at Old Trafford, a week, 10 days ago. They've just got to win the game, and I think that's what makes this New Year's game so special. But it's a game that Rangers traditionally have done very well in the past.
Right, well, let's have a look at the teams for you. Celtic haven't played for 18 days. The holiday postponement stopping Peter Grant and John Hughes serving their suspensions, so they're still banned. But Tommy Burns has remembered the side which beat Falkirk last time out, and it is the same 11 tonight, with particular spotlight on centre-back Malky Mackay, who starts a Premier game for only the 4th time. 9 Scots and 2 foreign forwards, Van Hooijdonk from Holland and the German Andreas Thom.
And 2 different formations we'll see tonight. And 1 or 2 things you can look from this Celtic formation. I've got them at 4-4-2 there. But watch for Phil O'Donnell, because he's the one central midfield player that I think can get past the front 2. When he does that, watch for John Collins just tucking into the midfield alongside Paul McStay. Now, when they do that, if they can get the ball to McStay, if they can get the ball to Collins in those areas, those 2 are certainly to get the ability to pass their way through Rangers and cause problems. When Collins goes in there, look for Tosh McKinley coming down on the left-hand side, giving them width on the outside. They've got natural width with Simon Donnelly on the right, so they've no problem there. Here, Van Hooijdonk will play the front row, but Tom drops off. He'll drop off there. He'll drop off on the right-hand side. He'll drop off deep. Just wander about, try and get himself on the ball.
7-0 on Saturday, and Walter Smith names the same side, though he was tempted to include Alec Cleland to give the team more natural balance on the right. With Petric, Solenko and Laudrup, Rangers a little more continental than Celtic, not to mention the one England international involved tonight who's achieved his usual prominence in the huge publicity prior to this eagerly awaited match.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the 3 at the back, the centre-backs there, and I think there might be a big onus on them tonight. When I look at that Rangers side, I see people who want to go forward, people on wide. Charlie Miller wants to go forward, Gascoigne wants to go forward, Laudrup wants to go forward. There's a grave danger that they may leave the back 3 a little bit exposed at times, so perhaps someone has to be a little bit disciplined. When I talked about Collins and McStay's passing, I think for Rangers we've got 2, and if they can get the ball to Gascoigne, if they can get the ball to Laudrup, those are 2 players who, maybe not so much with their passing, but with their ability to run with the ball. Run, commit and beat players can cause problems. Brian Laudrup, you never know where he's going to end up. He'll end up right, he'll end up left, any side that he wants, and with Solenko and Jury in good goal-scoring form, this is a threatening-looking Rangers side.
Well, the rain is falling heavily. It's been a mild day in Glasgow, a dry day until about an hour before the kickoff. So there's another element to the evening.
Wouldn't be the same, the New Year's game, Mark, if it wasn't pouring with rain in Glasgow. There would be something missing.
it is crunch time, you feel, at Celtic Park. The two great Glasgow rivals, both unbeaten in the league since September. Celtic with a couple of games in hand. Rangers with this 8-point lead that they want so much to stretch to 11.
I think the one thing that doesn't worry me about the game, because teams can never play for draws. I don't think a draw is a bad result for either team. I think Rangers would be fairly happy to come here and pick up a point, and Celtic would believe that even a point still keeps them in touch, means that they're only, if they won the 2 games in hand, would only still be 2 points behind Rangers, with a lot of football still to be played. And I just hope that the sides don't come in with that negative thought.
Well, that wonderful north stand on the far side to our cameras is a monument to the modernisation at Celtic. Not just modernising the facilities, but you feel there's a more modern attitude behind the rebuilding. Celtic accused for years of living with their heads in the sand, but they're trying to be progressive and reach the standards that have been set so spectacularly across town at Ibrox.
Not a bad start. It's my first live viewing of that lovely stand over there. It really is huge. And if we can take that all the way around, it will make what we know here in Glasgow as Parkhead, it will make it a wonderful stadium.
Well, it hasn't brought Celtic a great deal of luck in the 2 Old Firm games that have been played here since the stand was open. Rangers came here and won in the League Cup. They also won the opening Old Firm encounter in the league this season. Well, they're calling this the most important Old Firm derby for years. The two captains have been through this plenty of times before. Richard Gough of Rangers, Paul McStay of Celtic. Here they come. Well, the fans here speak for themselves. It needs no extra comment from me. Amazing atmosphere. It's a fixture that speaks for itself. Celtic against Rangers. But there will be a sorrowful note struck before the kick-off, because 25 years ago that New Year, the Ibrox disaster in which 66 football fans lost their lives. The Celtic Chief Executive and Managing Director Fergus McCann and the 2 managers will announce a minute's silence in memory of those who died 25 years ago. Well, the passion will be put on hold for a moment as Les Mottram, tonight's referee, calls the players to line up as for the kick-off, and then there will be the address here from Fergus McCann.
This is Fergus McCann speaking. With me is Tommy Burns, manager of Celtic, and Walter Smith, manager of Rangers. Will you please stand? Your attention, please. I ask for your 25 years ago, after this same match, please be silent. Thank you. 25 years ago, after the same 66 people tragically died disaster by Ibrox Stadium, I am now asking you to join Walter, Tommy and I, along with the players, in a mark of respect to the memory of those who died. Please stand in silence for 1 minute before the referee's whistle.
Rangers to kick off. It's been the deepest divide in British football for more than 100 years. So often they've met as the top two in the table, but not often enough recently for Celtic, who are desperate to crack this fantastic run of championships for their fiercest rivals. Trying to be calm.
Not an easy thing to do in the opening 10-15 minutes of an Old Firm match. Put your foot in it.
Gascoigne trying to run from deep. Also a difficult thing to do in the opening moments of a match of this intensity. And John Collins is hurt. Briefly. Gascoigne's header. Celtic were holding and one or two arms up for offside against Solenko. The ball didn't get that far forward. It's forward now for the home side with Van Hooijdonk. McStay, rather brushing off aside. Playing behind the Dutchman. O'Donnell's foul. Followed by more of the same from Boyd.
I think what's good about the referees, Mark, they're so experienced in these ties that normally you'd expect a booking very early in the game, but they know, I think, that everyone's got to settle down.
So 8 points the difference, 11, and the rest will probably be waving Rangers goodbye as they would be expected to steam on towards another title. Celtic have a greater cutting edge about them this season. They've won 7 more games than at this stage a year ago when they were really the draw specialists.